Yo, what's going on, people? I have returned for the next match of the MPL Tryout Pools Tournament. So yeah, it's the fourth one out of the 5 that I've got to play. I'm up against this man, Die, and he's in our pool, of course. I say that every video. And yeah, so he has a team against, let me give some background. I always just jump right into the battle. That's so unprofessional. I mean, I don't really have a lot of following on this, so I don't really have to be professional, but I'm required to upload this, so I will do so. So Dai's got a team of, basically he brought all the mons that I expected him to bring. I'm not saying that I predicted him. The matchup was just in a favor where he should have brought these mons, and he did. And I mean, that's perfectly fine. So he brought Arcanine, Manaphy, Cobalion, Pinsir, Mew, and Donphans. So I brought Drapion, Hippo, Suicune, Rotom Heat, Lopunny, and Celebi. I knew that Manaphy could be a problem. I was thinking of putting Kyurem over Celebi, but I ended up going with Celebi, and you'll see it actually works out for me very well. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, so let's go ahead and hop right into the match. Alright, let me explain first. I have a Toxic Spikes Drapion. I have a Stealth Rock Hippowdon that has Rock Slide Rocky Helmet just to combat his Mega Pinsir because that thing is a threat. It's always a threat. I have 3 checks for it on this team. I have a Vencoon, Suicune. I have a Scarf, Rotom Heat. I have a Fake Out, Drain Punch, High Jump Kick, Return, Lopunny, and then I have a Psyche MZ Celebi. Alright, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. I look at his lead matchup, and I look and I see, alright, well, there's no way he's going to lead Arcanine, because my obvious lead would either to be lead into Hippowdon or lead Lopunny. I've always led Lopunny. I don't think he would, because I have easy answers into this thing, as Crocoon, or Vincoon, and he's going to predict that I would switch into a Suicune on Arcanine, so I don't want to be obvious, so I'm like, let me just do the one that's the most easy to go by, and I didn't feel Arcanine was a presumable lead here. So I was like, alright, well, Celebi can take a hit from literally everything else and just nuke it. Barring he doesn't lead Pinsir, but I have many checks to Pinsir, as you'll see. So I wanted to lead Celebi in hopes that he would not lead Arcanine or Pinsir. He does lead with Manaphy, and here you would think that I am just... I spoiled it. You would think that I'm just gonna click a grass move, but I was like, alright, I'm gonna just hit this thing right off the bat. And I do end up going first. I don't believe we're speed tied, so I do hit him with a Shattered Psyche, does 69%. And based off that damage, I know from my spread and then his spread that he had a little bit, he did not have max speed into the set. Also, when you're in the back like this, and he does Signal Beam here, right? So here I'm going to go off of the assumption that he's not going to want to risk his Manaphy here. So I make a very, not really a ballsy play, but I wanted to Giga Drain here because I feared that he would want to keep his Manaphy. So I had no reason to not stay in and Giga Drain and get a little health back. Cobalion is obviously an obvious switch in, but I just wanted to get a little health back here with Celebi. So I'm just going to go for Giga Drain as he goes out into Mew. And I'm like, okay, well, not that. And I'm like, alright, well, I don't really know what this Mew set is because I'm worried. So I'm going to directly go right out into Drapion and take this as an opportunity to set up my Toxic Spikes because look at his team, they destroy him. 5 of his mons get hit by them. So I'm like, alright, I'm going to take this perfect opportunity to go Drapion. He Psychics. I'm immune to it, and then now, what I should have done here first is a misplay on my part. It's not really going to matter long term, but I should have taunted here first because I didn't know his speed, and he would have willowed either way, but I should have taunted first. I ended up just getting a little bit too greedy, but I also did fear that I wouldn't be able to set them up if he switched out, fearing that I would just, like, just kill him in one hit or whatever, based off his set, and I feared that he might just go straight out into Cobalion, which I did not want to have happen. So I was like, alright, you know what, I'll just lay up a Toxic Spike because it helps me. It's better for me to lay up a Toxic Spike and this thing get burned than to not have a Toxic Spike. So I'm going to lay up a Toxic Spike, he burns me, and I'm like, alright, now I can just taunt him. He'll probably go out into a different mon, but this also prevents this thing from doing any kind of shenanigans like Magnet Rising, Rock Polishing, Sword Dancing, anything that I don't want to have happen to me. So I'm like, okay, I taunt this thing, and I go Hippo, and it's Rocky Helmet, so I chew that thing up, and he takes Rocky Helmet, and I'm like, alright, I can just lay up. Actually, no, I double here. Yeah, I double here because I'm like, alright, well, he's going to want to get these Toxic Spikes off the field because they hurt him. So I'm going to go right out and double into Celebi, and I'm going to Giga Drain here because he's not going to take that. He goes out into Cobalion again, and I'm just going to keep on getting some health back with Giga Drain, which is good for my Celebi. So I was at 24, now I've gained 18% off just Giga Draining switch-ins, and I've come almost to half health, which is really good for me. So here I played the exact same play into Hippowdon here. Now I'm going to want to pull a double. I think I pull a play into Suicune here, and as he's going to close combat me, I'm not, or no, he Iron Heads me. I'm like, okay, this is fine. And then here I'm going to set up a substitute as he stays in with close combat, which made no sense to me, but I substitute up here, and now I'm going to, I believe I should have just Scalded here, but I believe I just Protect. Kind of an interesting play on my part. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I just wanted to see if he was going to stand, but I'm going to end up Calm Minding here. This is a terrible play on my part, I'm not even going to lie. Like, I was like, oh. Like, right after I Calm Minded, I was like, why did he stay? Oh, Roar. Yeah, okay, I'm dumb. And I just kind of, he roars me out into Drapion, though, which is good. And here, I believe I'm going to, do I knock off here? I don't believe I knock off. Yeah, I double out into Suicune because I'm like, alright, well, I mean, this thing's only revealed Psychic, Will-O-Wisp, that thing so far. I don't really think it would have anything specifically for Suicune, so like, this also prevents him going right out into Donphan, because every opportunity he sees to be able to get the Toxic Spikes off the field, he's going to take. So I'm like, alright, let me take advantage of that and go out to Suicune as he doubles right back out into Donphan. I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to Scald this thing. I'm not going to take any opportunity to set up anything. I'm just going to Scald it because I want this thing dead. As he does just Rapid Spin, which is completely fine. I'm fine with this. I have poisoned like half of his team. And here I think I'm just going to Scald again. I have no reason not to, as he does preserve it, maybe as fodder. I don't get a burn there, which is fine. And here I am going to switch out into Rotom Heat because this Suicune, he's only going to hit it super effectively with Energy Ball. And he's at a point in the back to where he's not going to click a water move on the Suicune, so I'm going to go into my Rotom as he Signal Beams me. And now my Choice Scarf Rotom has free reign to just Volt Switch around, because if he goes Donphan, he dies to Poison. If he goes if he stays in, he dies. If he goes anything else, I get momentum. So I'm like, alright, this is a fine play. I can just Volt Switch out. He makes a mid-ground play, goes into his Arcanine, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna pull this right out and go into Hippowdon. He Toxics me. I'm like, alright, this is fine. I'm gonna lay out my rocks because I wanted rocks up for this Pinsir. That's a huge threat. He Morning Suns. Here I'm just gonna Earthquake as it does 58. He's not defensive at all. I'm gonna go ahead and slack off here because I don't want to keep in. I want to get some health up, but I don't want to stay in with his poison just racking up on me. So now I'm going to switch out. As he goes Pinsir, I should have Rock Slided there, but I didn't want to have the risk of poison, and then he returns me, and then I die with the poison damage for the plus return, and then I'm just not in a good situation where I don't have my Hippo anymore. So I'm just going to I switch out into my Drapion here. Fearing because I didn't want to keep taking damage from, I didn't want to Flare Blitz and have the damage put off from Toxic, so I'm like, my most expendable Mon here is Drapion, I'll go into it, that's fine. And I go Drapion here as he goes into this, I'm like, oh, okay, well, this isn't the best, but here I'm going to pull a very, no, it's not this turn. Here I'm going to go into Hippowdon because with Rocky Helmet I have my, had it back, he Rock Slides, and I'm like, okay, this is fine, he predicted my Rotom Heat, which is fine, and I'm not going to switch into that, though. I have a Hippo, so that's my reason for it. So he chips me down there. Now I'm going to, he just sacks his Donphan, as I believe I Rock Slide there. Yeah, I Rock Slide. And now this is perfect for me, because his Rapid Spinner is gone. His Pinsir, next time everything comes in, will be at 24%. And Rocks are up, and I've Toxic'd a lot of his team. It's looking very good for me. So he goes into this, and I'm like, you know, I could try and preserve differential. He could just Tail Glow here, though. I don't want all these shenanigans happening. I'm just going to sack him on for the sake of just preserving a definite win. So he does that. I'm going to go right out into my Rotom Heat. I'm just going to keep on clicking Volt Switch as getting momentum is the best option here. I do Volt Switch on this Mew, and that reveals to be a Spadef set. So I'm going to go out into my Celebi here. I want to take this opportunity to get more health back. I'm just going to Giga Drain. As I believe he Soft Boils here. Yeah, Soft Boil, and I'm like, alright, I'll just Nasty Plot you. And you're staying in, and I'm not losing anything by doing this. So he's just going to roar me here, obviously. Like, I just wanted to scare him out, or to let him know that I'm here, right? I wanted to let him know that I'm in, and I don't really care if you roar me out or whatever. I mean, you're not profiting anything against my Celebi. Like, you only have Psychic, and it's not going to be doing anything to me because I'm going to be recovering everything with Giga Drain. So he roars me out right into Lopunny. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. I'll just take this as an opportunity to fake out and then return this thing. Because he, obviously by that fake out damage plus his poison, he is definitely going to fall to a return. So here he makes a good play. I should have predicted this, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter in the long run. I'm just going to return. He's Rocky Helmet. Based on that damage, I can kill him with a high jump kick. That's what I prepped for. So I'm going to high jump kick. Thankfully, I hit it. And this Darkrai is going to go down. He goes out into Pinsir. Obviously, this is a play where I made it really... I was really questioning. I really wanted to be like a super ballsy person and just stay in here. And just return, because I mean, it was kind of obvious that I was going to pull a switch into Rotom, but I also knew that I could live the Rock Slide. I could not live a Stone Edge, so it was up to... But I had just previously seen the Rock Slide, so I wasn't going to assume that this thing had both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and make the play into my Rotom Heat, and he misses Rock Slide. But that actually did not matter in the long run. So that Rock Slide would have done a max to my set of 69%, plus the Quick Attack at a max was 16. So 69 plus 16 is 85. I was at 88%. If he got 2 max rolls on both of his hits, he would still have not been able to take me out. And you'll see that this Rotom doesn't do any purpose here other than Volt Switch, which is perfectly fine. Barring a crit for those 2 things, of course. So, kind of unfortunate for him. It doesn't really matter, though. So I'm just going to Volt Switch here. He sacks it. And that thing's not going to see the battlefield the rest of the game. He's going to go into Cobalion here, hoping that he hasn't seen Drain Punch. He's just going to go off me missing a high jump kick. But I have Drain Punch as well, and I'm faster because he revealed to be Iron Head and Close Combat in one. Like, he's not Scarf. Sorry. I have trouble with my words sometimes. I'm at him at max attack, and that Drain Punch is going to knock that thing out. I'm going to go right back up to full. And now his monster just whittled down, and I can just return this thing, knock the Mew out, and then I can return the Manaphy and knock it out. And that is going to be a GG to Diet Tight. It was a great victory on our end, and I hope that I can continue the success. I have one more game, and then we have brackets. I don't know if I'm locked yet, but I will try my best, my God-given best. Thank the Lord. Yeah, so this is a fun game. I always like to see Drapion put in work, even though it gets burned every single game. It's always fun to see that thing shine. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Stay